This is Mudball Mike. We're with the Mudball News, talking about July 4th, 2026. That's what we got. Test one, check one. That's good. Mudball News. We're looking at weaponized sound, 432, 440. It says, in 1953, a worldwide agreement was made based on an idea by the Rockefeller Foundation to change the frequency of music. I can't verify that. I'm just reading some post here. What happened is I sat down to make a video, and then I just started scrolling Facebook. I'm sure that happens to you, maybe. If you use Facebook or any social media, you know what I'm talking about. You sit down to do one thing, and then all of a sudden, something gets your attention, especially on one of those things, and then you just start scrolling, and you're like, what's this? What's this? Because they show you things that are interesting to you. They're designed to keep a hold of you and keep you scrolling so that they can get paid for the advertising that is being shown. Anyways, so this is just some random. This is where I left off on Facebook when I said, actually, I got a message from Shane, and that he had made a video, and I'm like, yeah, I was about to make a video, and I've been scrolling Facebook. So this is the post I was on when I got that message, or when I saw it. He might have sent it a while ago, I'm not sure, but I noticed it, and then here we are. I'm like, I just gotta stop and just make this video. It is the 4th of July edition of the Mudball News. Right now we're looking at weaponized sound for no reason other than we were on that post. We started doing this video. So I don't base this on any fact. You'd have to go look it up. I'm just reading a post about 432 and 440. And it says they changed it from its natural harmonic resonance, 432 hertz, to the current consciousness suppressing 440 hertz. So, and there's images, graphic images up there, which the one on the left looks like there's a lot more going on, lots more symmetrical patterns. And then when you compare it to the one on the right, it's just like a blurry mess. So your music is a blurry mess according to this, and it could have been beautiful, like symmetrical on 432, but you're screwed. You get blurry music. All right. This was the 4th of July. This was the 3rd of July yesterday. We were supposed to have fireworks at the park, and we went to our usual spot where we watched these fireworks. It had rained a little bit, but we thought that was all that was going to happen. So we went ahead and went, and we're in the parking lot. Well, people started leaving, and then this one guy, he seemed to know something, so I called him over to the car, and I said, what's going on? He said he had been talking to some people down, that were actually doing the fireworks, and they said they were going to do them rain or shine. But he also said that there was a big, storm front coming. We had just passed through a little bit of rain, but it wasn't nothing big. So I thought that was going to be it. But he's like, there's a big storm front coming. And then he left immediately as soon as he told me that. So then we sat there for a little bit, and chairs on the table. Shedding. I'm shedding over here. Shedding out. It's hot, probably. So we were sitting there, and the wind started kicking up, and there was lightning in the distance. And he had said the storm front's coming. I looked on my phone, and I see this big thing coming. I'm like, yeah, we need to just leave. Because I didn't want to get caught in a big, rainstorm trying to get out of the car and back into the house and all that kind of stuff. So we left, and it did start almost immediately after we left. Then they ended up canceling the fireworks, and they're going to have to reschedule these. So that's what happened with the July 3rd fireworks display tonight. In other news, is there news? Yes. How is 4 months enough time for a test? If you're going to test something out, would you say 4 months is enough time? Most people say 6 months to a year is like if you're going to do a good test, 6 months to a year, especially on the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's what I've heard. Those are the numbers I've heard. But when you're promised, there's no time period, but when you're promised 10, and you're also promised replacements. So if somebody comes in and then they leave, you're promised a replacement. Not in any time period, okay? Nobody's giving me a time period. So it's not like somebody leaves, you're immediately going to get somebody. It's not like that. And it's not like you're going to get 10 people this week. It's not like that. But what had happened is I had somebody leave and they were not replaced. And then I was not getting more either. And, the person that left didn't even wait like a week or 2 weeks maybe, and they were out. And that's not a test. So that was just jumping ship. Like, I don't know why. Unless they could just read the writing on the walls before me, I don't know. But anyways, somehow I let it go for 4 months just to see, because I did like the way things were laid out were good. And if the system worked as advertised, it would have been good. And I could have brought a lot of people in because I can bring a lot of hits to stuff, okay? They had hit requirements for this rotator and for the co-op, and I was meeting these requirements, okay? I was doing my part, doing everything I was supposed to do, sending all the traffic, sending all the hits, just as required. And what happened is nothing, zero in 4 months. Um, no activity. And you could see in the back office, I was hitting my hits. I was doing what they asked, over what they asked, over hits. So after 4 months, I decided that's enough of a test. So I've shifted all of my. I'm in the process of switching everything over to something that I know works much better. And I was doing it before I jumped into this thing, but and it, I was just settled on that before, starting to go that way. But this other thing came along, and when I saw what they were offering, I saw this offer. It wasn't so much I needed the product, but I'm keeping the product. It's a good product, but people don't. Two things are going on here. People don't really need this product now. Only certain people would need the product. Not enough, because there's so many other ways to do things at this time. So you don't necessarily need that product. But it's a good product. If you do need something like that, it is a good product. And I'm keeping it because of that. It's a good product. I'm actually using it. I have uses for it. If I wasn't using it, I would just cancel it because I'm done with if I had joined it, a lot of people join these just for the team builds, and that is stupid. Never do that because you're if it's not something you love and believe in, and you're just doing it for the team build, a lot of these team builds have problems and they crash out and just different things happen and people quit, stuff like that. So if you're going to do something, if you're going to promote, if you're going to be on a team promoting something, You want to believe in the product. First, you want to make sure it's an actual product, which this is. The thing I was talking about, it is a legitimate product and a good product. I can believe in it. I can promote it. It's not. I'm not like lying if I promote it or say how good it is, because it is good, and it's something I use and I'm going to continue to use. I'm going to continue to pay for it, even though the team build part wasn't working on it, because I didn't join just for the team build. I joined that put me over the edge, let's say, but I still wanted the product. So it has to be more about the product than the team build, because team build is not guaranteed in any way. And it's hard to promote a lot of this stuff. It just depends what you're doing, how you're doing it. Anyways, I've switched back to one of the ones I was previously doing. I'm just bringing all my hits back over there because it's another great product. This one is more, it's been updated a lot. So it's, let's say, modernized to right now. They've added lots of features. There's a lot of different stuff in there. So there's a lot of stuff that people can use. And, before anything else, I use this product too. It's a great product. But they also have a team build. So what I did, and I wasn't promoting the team build much. I had a link for it. I don't even think that link's good anymore, but I wasn't really devoting that much traffic to that link. But now I am. So today I made what I do is when I decide to focus on something, I make a Google sheet, a Google Doc. That's what I do. I make a Google Doc. Then I put all my links and all that stuff. The banners, the main banners are 125s and 468s. And then you need some links. You need some emails and some subject lines. So what I do is I gather all that stuff together. I put it in one big Google Doc. And then I just use that to, when I'm promoting, I just leave that open in a tab. And then I can just go over there and copy and paste whatever I need out of that. It's organized. It's real organization, at its finest. So that's what's up with all that. Come over here. This is the Genobi experimental grind. My system is booted. Generate my facts. Make me feel better. Write my code. Enhanced. Entranced. Am I a monster or a man? Can you save me? Can you save me now? Entranced and entrenched in bottomless booty. Rare specimen. Make me feel better. Generate my facts. Boot me up. Boot me up. Bottomless booty. Bottoms up. When we got to the summit, I just needed a hug. Just give me a hug, babe. Genobi, wall, entrid, I make appearance. These are the words I wrote for Genobi experimental grind. And this is by my fake AI band X100 that I do over here on Treblo. So I've got several songs, my profile. See, I'm making all these X100 songs. Got this fake band, it's AI, it's called X100. So we got Genobi Experimental, we got Miss the Bus, Cerebral Galaxy Grinder, Banish the Pipsqueak, The Poison Tongue, Nothing All at Once. So if you want to hear all this, what I did with Miss the Bus, I wrote these words, and then I generated, you can see these are on V3 Preview. Everything else is on V3 Preview as far as the version for creating the AI music on Treblo. Now, you can bump it down to whatever they have in their previous, which is V2 2.2. So on Missed the Bus, I wrote the words and I generated it using V3 Preview. And I didn't like either one. It made 2 tracks and I just didn't like them. So I modified the style. And not only that, then I kicked it down to V2.2 instead of the V3 Preview. And I like how it came out. It didn't really make grindcore per se, but I like what it did. And then I make these graphics right in the program. Like you just give it a prompt and tell it what you want. At first I was making band members, but my band members seem to change every time I make a picture. So then on this one I just made a dark room, yellowish, it's the door. And then this one's the Missed the Bus, so you got a bus and you got some crazy creature in the bus. Looks almost like the head of a centipede or something. It's hard to tell. Round. An ant, maybe it's like a big ant. It's green, has big eyes. Then we got these women on a beach in bikinis over here laying down on a beach for Genobi Experimental. So if you go to Treblo.com, probably search, I don't know, search for X100, maybe you'll find this stuff. Or just search for Missed the Bus. Can't imagine there's a lot of songs called Missed the Bus. I can't imagine there's any song called Banish the Pipsqueak. So you could try that one. Probably end up right here. But this isn't music most of you would like, probably. You like death metal, brutal grindcore, death grind, grindcore, metalcore. If you don't listen to this stuff, cyber grind, noise, if you don't listen to that, then you won't like any of this. I'm not telling you to listen to it. So, yeah, I'm building an advertising machine right now. That's what I already had built. And all that means is I go to all these different websites that I'm a member of, and then I change my links over to whatever it is that I'm currently focused on. So since right now we're doing this other one, change my team link, I made on my Google Doc, I made 3 tracking links for different pages, and then I made one is the team link. So I got the team link and then 3 other additional links. They all relate to this. And then also one of those is Lead Lightning, because I use Lead Lightning as a promotional tool that then backdoors into the other one. So, but I have tracking links for all of those now. So this way I'll know where all my traffic comes from, and you know, if a traffic source is not performing or something, I'll be able to see that on the stats. So, like I said, I'm serious about all this stuff. So, don't give me a program and tell me it's gonna do these things, and then it's not gonna do it. I was providing all the hits for that, and I wasn't getting what they said. I mean, 4 months. That's a test, in my opinion. If I'm sitting at 4 months and I got nothing after doing all the work, that's nothing. That's not good. I wasn't going to go 6 on that one. If it was a slow build, maybe. If I was getting something. But when I'm sitting at 0 on it, no, that means it doesn't work. What you're saying works does not work. So then I can't ethically promote that either anymore. So that's why I'm changing all my links out, because I'm not going to tell somebody else. I'm not going to share that link intentionally with anyone right now. If I see a link anywhere where I have that in there, I'm deleting it and I'm replacing it, because I can't even show that program to anybody, because it's not doing. If after 4 months you got 0, that means it doesn't work at all. So I'm no longer promoting that at all. I'm not going to badmouth it. I'm not announcing what it is or anything. I'm not selling anything. We're just looking at X100 on Treblo. So, talking about some shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Mudball News, 7/4/26.